Flying on a limb, Tanto and End Journey. Bubble Palace, 100 to go, but she's wayward and flying on a limb is going as straight as a gun barrel. Took the front under hands and heels and flying on a limb won by over a length, Bubble Palace.
Welcome to Bet Doctor Behind the Curtain. Look at how pro punters operate. I'm your host, Scoot. It's going to be a cracking show. I've just got that feeling. There's lots of things happening at the moment. John Walter, you're a bit late. What are you doing here, mate?
I'm not late. You people start the show like just before the Saturday races start now. Like you keep pushing it back later and later because I don't know why. What are the massage shops in Sydney, in Melbourne don't open till late or something?
Have you been sooking because of New South Wales in the Origin? I was going to wear the jumper, but I thought it was inappropriate just to rub it right in.
The least New South Wales part about New South Wales is the New South Wales State of Origin team.
How gutless are they?
It's embarrassing.
It is embarrassing.
We just get out toughed. Is it? What's the word, toughed? We get out.
Just mentally.
They're just too strong for us. Yeah. They actually try. Anyway, whatever.
Actually means something for us Queenslanders. DK, does the Origin mean anything to you, or do you even watch it?
I tuned in. I had some sort of financial interest in the game, but that was I watched a little bit of it. But no, Scoot, no, never a dull moment. Never a dull moment down here, mate. I know what's going up in there with Everest and everything, and there's MRC committee members getting the lemonade from certain things. I've just turned on. I've just thought it was all set. Richard Irvine's just put out a tweet. Never been angrier. There's cowboy bookies, buddy, writing their own T's and C's, and it's absolute disgrace for what's going on there. So never.
At least he's not bored this week, Richie. It's good to see he's angry.
He's never been angry. Capital letters, and we fired right up. But anyway, Nico, what's doing? Never a dull moment down here. It's great sport.
Just trying to find a winner. Keep your head down and keep chipping away. That's my motto at the moment.
Boring.
Plenty happening.
How's Nico? He's got the Carlton thing on. Is that support for Voss?
That's right.
Carlton are in rabble.
Yeah, we're cast, but only clean jumper I had. I thought I'd probably cop a bit of backlash for wearing it this morning though.
Oh, and your Blues got beat last night. Anything Blue you support? Something that Walt supports. Everest going to 20 million. Slot holders look to be the winners here. Country Racing seems the big losers.
No. We're coming in line with the country racing. That's just the one that kills you. That actually annoys me. They're saying they're pumping everything else up to come in line with the increases in country racing.
I saw a graph from I don't know him, but there's a guy, Paul Ferrari, who seems to have all the stats, or he's dug into the prize money. It wouldn't be hard.
We've never checked them, but they seem very feasible.
Well, wouldn't take that long if you're that invested and that interested in it, but it looks like all the increases for the last sort of 6 or 7 years, it's all just gone to the top end. So listed, group races, all the top end of town, that's where the prize money has risen. So a lot of the country championships, the big and the little dance, and all these highways and all this sort of stuff, it's mainly lip service because as a percentage, it hasn't actually gone up in the country areas. But what this is all about, and the reason that they say, this is all just based on sustainable increases and we can justify, putting the extra Everest money in, is because they're increasing and the amount of races over the 150k threshold to become a premium meeting. We'll put a graphic up on screen now, and now the Saturday meetings have gone from 100 to 150 to 160k, and then they've got a handful of other races gone from.
And what's the magic number, Nick?
What's 150,000?
What's the magic number? Yeah.
And so then you only have to have one race over that 150k, and you get to add more percentage on the board. So.
When you told me that was red hot, then I went and looked at the prize money at wherever Sydney is this Saturday, and it starts 120 in the highways, whatever. Then 150, how many races are there? 10? 9 races at 8 races, 150,000. There it is, the Winter Cup. It's not 150, it's 160,000. So we'll make it worth an extra 10,000 as it wrought, so we get the extra race fields in. Oh, red hot.
And this is what most of the posts are hiding, concealing. There's this, but there's always something behind it that's usually meeting some sort of criteria, or, like the 20 million Everest, it's just obviously a personal thing that he wants to make the race, whatever it is. But they come back to feasibility in racing. I bought a tried horse for $3,000 online. A mate of mine basically pre-trained it, so for bugger all. Took it to the trainer when it was just about ready to go to the races. It's had, I think, 5 or 6 starts. It won a half tab meeting, and then it won a full tab meeting. It's Bob's Extra, and we're about 5,000 behind. So it's had 6 starts. It cost us $3,000 total. It's won 2 races this prep in the country, and we're behind. We're behind on it. Country racing, the place to be.
It's in the same way as a maiden. Still, maidens are 27. Most maidens are 27,000, and most races people racing for 20. It's 13 or 14 to the winner. 13,
That's right.
14
It's
the
not
winner. That's what 3 months training fees would probably be
Well,
for
and
both
you used to
people.
get 60%, right? You used to get 60% as to the winner. Now you get about 45 or something,
Yeah.
and then you've got all those other takeouts. Even the bobs, that sort of gets chopped up. It's not all it seems to be. It's just
No, it's exactly
well,
right.
you just want the truth. And I'm just sick of being, handled. It's just so depressing. It's just you just keep every day like. I like Vic's at least trying to battle it a bit, and then you get this guy, as soon as Vic seemed to show a bit of weakness, which is not weakness, it's just reality, this dude comes off the top rope, and you're like, well, hang on, you're announcing 20 million in upgrades over the week or whatever he's at. Where's the Scone project that was supposed to be finished last December? Where's the Cessnock project that never started? This thing that what's his name? Kieran Mars just popped into with 80 things in partnership with Racing New South Wales. That was supposed to be the pre-training centre for all of, New South Wales. Now all of a sudden it's a partnership with a trainer. What happened there? There's just no disclosure, or there's just no truth to it. It's just so
deflating. It's terrible.
It just gets to you. You just so if you're like we sit pretty neutral. We're punters with thing, but you're just trying to get everybody to go forward so racing can go forward. It's not. We're not just talking from punters' perspective. It's just really deflating, like you say. And the worst part is they're saying it's never been better. It's never been. It's just
and that's the thing. And I think initially it was promised that odds and evens were going to pay for it. That's fallen flat.
What happened there?
There's no talk
come
of
out
that.
and say we invested some money and think we had a go. We missed.
Didn't work.
Just say it.
No, and then there's no overseas stars. So this extra $5 million, is that Lucky Sway Nessie, the Hong Kong horse, is it going to come? They're all going
He's
to
not
Japan.
coming. Yeah.
Well, exactly. So it's not really doing anything. All it is, as we said before, it's these extra percentages that you pay in your
What is it? What is the benefit of that extra $5? What does it do apart from?
Well, it's just inflation. That's what it is. So the pie's not growing. It's just they're just taking it, making it harder and harder for punters to win, and taking away all the product.
It's basically a $5 billion investment from money that's generated from us. What does it yield for racing?
Nothing. Or it just lines the pockets of the guys at the top.
So as a business, you're investing $5 million extra into your product. Is there a better way to invest it? That's probably the question that you'd love to be able to have answered.
It's just staggering that more country trainers and more of the little guys don't sort of stand up and even just...
Well, they try.
It's just...
They try. And who's the head of their Trainers Association?
Richie Calendar.
It's just tough. Everyone... it's just not what they're talking about.
Anyway, it was incredible racing on the weekend. Think About It was a nice winner. And I think, as we said on the show a long time ago, that Mick Kent thought that the next sire to produce a champion was So You Think. He can at any distance. He seems to be
the only
these
we
winners.
just went to this national sale this week, and the only horse I sort of fell in love with. I'm no huge judge on thing, but I've been to enough sales and seen enough horses, and just you love a horse that's got a bit of presence, and especially when they walk and whatever. And the fella that I sort of that finds them and he's like, you got to have a look at this. Oh, this thing stood out, and it was a very cheap sale. Usually sort of about 40,000-50,000 is the average, and of course this thing went for 120 to Tony Gollan and John Foote. It's just there's just too much. They've got too many cannons to fire at you. But it was a So You Think out of I can't remember sort of man, but it was a bit of a cross with a sprinting light. So it was just. It's so he's an adaptable sire, that's for sure.
Mm. Yeah, it's interesting to see how the Stradbroke's starting to line up. Horses like Hawaii 5-0, and Tino's probably going to struggle, and then you got horses like Think About
Converge.
It. Yeah,
Converge.
who do you want to be on after seeing the race on the weekend?
Well, he's going to be the weight certainty, isn't he? Think About It, but this is no knock on Sam Clipperton because he has handled this horse incredibly well. But this horse has just had dream runs. Every time. They've pulled the right rein every time. They've either gone slow and he's gone forward. They've gone back. He's got a trail. Again, the other day, that 3-wide trail was a perfect thing. It was, and I do think that Converge has got a little bit up his sleeve. Was he a bit unlucky on Saturday? Actually, not as unlucky as I thought he was. When I definitely was talking through the kick, there had something small on him just because he looked to be a silly price and thought he was a tragedy beaten. But, the winner was pretty strong and he's going to be hard to beat. And then Hawaii 5-0 looked a big gross thing that, I don't think a month between runs is his go. So he's going to improve again. The horse that chased him, is he going to be in the Stradbroke or does he not make the field?
I don't reckon he probably won't make the field. He probably won't have enough prize money. So
Christ, it's a horse.
I think we're going to go a different way.
Yeah, it's good. It's good. There's some progressive horses coming through there and whilst I think that was very disappointing as a weight for age race, I don't think any of those were really weight for age horses at this stage. The Stradbroke certainly looks like it's going to be a great handicap, and I think all of us, that's what we love, the great handicaps. They're the races you can still find an angle in, and it's not going to be any different.
What about Kovalica? I thought it was the 11 out of 10 from J-Mac. Absolute perfect ride.
Yeah, arrogant, wasn't it? It was just purely arrogant. It was a shame that Moody's horse probably drew a bit awkward and was forced back, and its effort was really good, and they just had panels on the rest. It's a nice horse, that Fame. I don't know whether it's going to be a sort of weight for age horse, but Kovalica certainly looks like it's a big chance of becoming one. Just that, a bit of adaptability. Certainly they can ride him cold. That stable, you're always going to get it. If they draw awkwardly, they're going to be pretty negative. But he looks like he could sort of hold a spot in a mile race without much of an issue and turn a foot stayers, straight into favourite for the Caulfield Cup, which was always going to be the case. But geez, that Freedman horse that let go from looked like it was going to run a nice sixth and won 4 lengths handing up. I think it should be Caulfield Cup favourite personally.
Yeah. Nico, your man broke his duck in Australia yesterday. Wirramoo Pin or DK, both of you boys were pretty keen on this bloke. You founded the horse from the yard, the John Leake train runner, and you're in a bit of form yesterday, and you just in general, just seeing them like beach balls at the moment. Setavelli for the Little Birdie Syndicate, $15 winner there, but will the floodgates open for this guy, Wirramoo Pin? Are they starting to, all the trainers now cotton onto this bloke this week and looking at Saturday?
Well, the market cottoned on to him last week. Every single one of the rides he was on was backed pretty much. So, yeah, I think they're all over him. You look at his horses he's riding on Saturday, he's got a fair few good chances. I think there probably could be a scenario where he's overbet, to be honest. I think he'll ride a lot of winners, given where he's just in, from a claim point of view, he's going to claim 3 kilos. So everyone's going to be looking to find him. But even off what we saw on Saturday, I think there could be a chance he's slightly overbet. But you definitely probably want to find him at the moment, especially if he's getting on horses that are carrying 54 and he's getting them down to 51. So the edge might be early there because the late market was definitely all over him on Saturday. And I think John Leake Jr. is starting to turn the corner as well with those Peters horses. They all seem to be going a bit better than what they were. So maybe something to look out for there.
The good thing is professionalism as well. He got E. Brown, like Morning's in quirky track, first time there.
Yeah.
Goes and gets the local bloke E. Brown and walks the track with him and goes through its quirks and everything like that,
Just a bloody good ride too. Well,
he saved all the ground. That was the difference between him and Red Columbine, wasn't it?
Yeah.
He'd had to come wide and he saved all the ground up the inside and went for it at the right time. So that's what you need.
That worked out good yesterday, Mornington. I think they should, the way this track's playing recently, they should get more meetings. Like the meetings that Soundown's very tired and Mornington showed on Cup Day. It's as good a track as we have at the moment. I know DK's not a big fan, but I think definitely if you go back 3 years ago, you compare it to the track it was then to now, it's a big difference. So I think it's definitely got to be a track that's more looked at from a metro point of view.
DK, you going to show
Metro, do what you like. Yeah, Metro, yeah. No, well, he's right. It's different. It'd be a different track. Just back local horses. I mean, no, I don't. I tried to have an RDO when Mornington's on.
Rail true, it's all right. Like the last meeting there where it was like rail at 8 metres or whatever, that was just a meeting for the sake of it. But if you rail true, yesterday everything seemingly got their chance. So, yeah, I'm tipping it.
All right, Melbourne's home of comedy is the Comics Lounge, sponsor of our show. Walt needs a little bit of a giggle. He's a bit of a sad panda. Origin and the Everest has put him on tilt this week. It's always something. Make sure you check them out, or if you want to hire a comedian.
And I was at bowling for the first half of the Origin.
What?
That's how much respect I got for old Freddie Fittler's coaching. Anyhow.
Oh, I just love it.
What do we do? When are you taking me there? I'm not allowed back in Melbourne anymore. Didn't get an invite to the last thing, whatever. I would have had COVID. I would have come down there and killed everybody. It would have been awesome.
I have to deal with this every week, and an hour's plenty. Today's show's going to be a beauty. Don is good. He got the greasy pig last week. He copped at both ends, Calipore and Serpentine. So
too early for Serpentine.
What?
Please.
How
did Calipore not win?
I don't know.
And then I saw someone after, looking for 3,200. It was the greatest losing ride in the history of racing. Actually, maybe Andrew Mallion's ride yesterday at Eagle Farm on that band getter or whatever I was balls deep in. That's a pretty good ride too. I don't know how he got beat. But
Donnie was tipping the thing that won, Miracle of Love or whatever.
Well, it was $1.60. Well done, Donnie. Well found, big fella. Masara says, that's it. What is it? Done deal, Miss Finland. Hope it's as good as it looks. Yeah, hope she turns out a nice horse.
Oh, it's tough to make a quid in the breeding game, says John Masara. He
It
was
is,
up there
especially
for
when you're struggling with the done deal, Miss Finlands, and you've got 20 of them sitting there. Yeah, it's tough. stuff.
You found a winner last week. I Earn a Merc. Carly's horse, as DK pointed out.
Carly, our girl, and Rachel King. I think Carly could have won on it, to be honest. Pretty nice horse, but it's good to see it return and improve, and always good to see Bjorn train a winner. It's the aftermath's always a bit like Gary Moore, but probably with a bit of extra.
You're going to preview the benchmark 78. It's probably.
What did I say in the chat? It's the worst meeting I've ever seen. I know I say that weekly, but I could mean it this time. 20 runners in each field. None of them are horses that you really want to find, but I've put the sifter through it and found the worst option.
No, it's a premium race meeting, so it'll be up to 3% race fields.
Well, that's all that matters.
That's on tote derived products, and then other wages will be at 2.5% on fixed odds.
That's all right. So it'll be the full fist in the back door for the meeting, even though it's a bunch of camels.
No, it's a half fist, because if there's a $1 million race on the program, it goes to 3.5% and then 3%. So that's the full fisting.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, and we've just got about half a dozen more full fistings implemented.
I like
there.
my full fisting today, jumping back into the early betting for the first time in about 6 months. I've tipped a $4 chance in the first at Wyong. There was a $1.70 shot. I thought they'd sort of just too far apart, and a $6 third pick. $6 horse comes out. I thought, that's all right. $1.60 horse comes out. 2 more come out. I think we're at 83 cents deduction at the moment. Awesome. Get into that early betting.
It's been happening, in Victoria, DK, for how long?
Oh, donkeys. Yeah. Deductions lotto.
$4 to $2.70 it was before any deductions, and now we've copped 83 cents.
Try a bit in Victoria.
Do you really want to be on it? What price are you now?
$1.30, $1.20 or something.
They never win.
I want to be on it. I want to be on it, and I wanted to get beaten a photo. I want the full double fist.
Speaking of double fist, Nico gave a few bookies double fist, flying on a limb, 13 into $7. They got a lot there, and he's absolutely airborne for the syndicate, as I mentioned before. Jason AZZOPARDI. I'm surprised he's crawled out under his rock, or he was.
What happened last week? Did he have some pizzas to deliver or something?
He hasn't got his delivery hat on this week, has he? I hope he hasn't.
He's got a version of. It's not the black plain one. He's got he's sponsored this week.
Yeah, he's going to preview the Eagle Farm features, TopSport Steam. They got 3 interesting bets, and they got Bob on all the Group 1 races. So Queensland Oaks is the big Group 1, odds to 5,000. So it doesn't matter who you are. You can take that, set and forget. And I think
Tristan's got me for the South game Saturday. How's that going to be? He's got 80 kids or something that he's got to take out in the from his daughter's school or something. Then he's got to come and deal with me and say hello. It's going to be a long day for Tristan on Saturday.
I've been brushed.
Yeah, we don't like you.
Hey?
No, you don't invite me. I don't invite you. It's reciprocal.
I tell you what, he went to Adelaide yesterday for the State of Origin. I'm tipping he'd be slim dusty. They had a winery at 8:30 start, and then he had the Origin kick-off at 8 o'clock last night. So.
Can't imagine Queensland's a good result either.
Thoughts and prayers. If you want to put one through TopSport, this morning's probably the chance to get him with Tristan on board a flight. Let's welcome in one of the stars of the show, Jason AZZOPARDI. How are you, mate?
G'day, boys. How are you? Thanks for that wonderful intro there, Walt. Really appreciate it, mate.
Mate, you would be, if in State of Origin, the ultimate bench player. It doesn't matter the state, what sort of race, anything. You are the ultimate interchange. You can slot into any position and find a winner. That's why we love you.
All I do is barrack against New South Wales in any sport there is. And so because I have to bet on it to watch it, I back Queensland, went to bed at half top.
So you like PVL. You're a big PVL man then, because he just destroys us internally. He just takes us apart from the inside.
Exactly.
Big
Bring
PVL man.
Bring it on.
Love it.
Back the Maroons last night. Went to bed at half time because it's boring, and woke up with money in my account. So pumped.
It was a nice little Queenslander chant too at the Adelaide Oval. That was a really nice touch. Just goes to show everyone hates New South Wales. Everyone against them. It's beautiful. It's just how PVL likes it. Nice little sponsored hat there, Azza. It's been a pretty quiet week, I would have thought, for Dream Thoroughbreds looking through the press. But
right. It's obviously my brother's syndication group, so he
well.
throws me a hat. That's about all I get. So it was the first one on top of the pile, so I've just picked that up and all that this week. So.
Amathuba's in on Saturday. That's one of these. Amathuba.
Is it at Rosehill?
I think so. I think they accepted a couple of races. I'm pretty sure it's still in there.
They were back to the $16 in town, 6 months ago, and to run second to Sunshine in Paris in a benchmark race. How stiff are we to running that?
3.9 million later.
Did you buy it?
Sunshine in Paris? No, James Harron found it. I don't know how he found it, but at 3.9 million, he's a genius. He found it.
He bought it.
3.9 million.
Yeah. Oh, he just said there's a plethora of prize money and options and races for it. So,
And
Why
even though
wouldn't
it's
you buy
got, niggles and things, but let's just hope she doesn't. I definitely don't want to wish. I love the horse. I hope she goes on to win many, many races, and it's a great buy from him.
Eagle Farm Race 7 is the Star Casino Moreton Cup, and it's over 1,200 metres. And Quantico, Jesus Christ, there might be scratching here. Or a couple of scratchings come through, but this horse has been 420 into 280. Prince of Boom 380. Far Too Easy $7. Clemenceau 9. Gravina 10. Baller $12. Frosty Rocks sounds like me $19. 15 rounds $20, and R&T DK's horse $21. Contemptuous $31, and Irish Songs $41. So
Jeez, I've only just seen the prices here. Ooh.
yeah, this is crazy. As has been
Interesting.
savaging. There's 2 replays we're going to have a look at. First one, Quantico, China Horse Club. At Scone at last start, buried fence.
I hope you're on it here, Azza.
Oh, I wasn't on it actually.
That's sick.
Oh, actually, I had saved it small. I'd backed something else in the race, but obviously, stiff as this day. Jay Collett went up the rails. Should have won easy, but didn't. Do find with these horses when off runs like this, they can get over bet. His horse was $3.80 last night when I sent the tips through for the show. Into 280 now. I think that's pretty skinny on a map negative horse. She does go well, and she's only a Group 3 winner, so a Group 2 would add a lot of value to her. So I think now we're fully wound up here. She's a good chance, but getting in pretty tight now, I think.
So just to go back, that the rail was obviously good there too. So that's the other reason you got to be a little bit careful of it being over bet. And that sort of horse that look like that. But I think its trials weren't super sharp, and I was worried about it not being fully ready there to do what it did. So I think the horse will improve out of sight off that is kind of where I'm going. I think it's perfect little clean out run for it. You don't want it having a hard run and then sort of backing up second up. I think that sort of run for that particular horse, it'll be sort of ready to go, and 1,200's better for it as well.
The other horse we're going to look at is Clemenceau in the red and white, back on the fence, and think about it, wins this one.
It's easy to think this horse has been disappointing this prep, but I think here, if you could just look up, it's 3 back on the rails in the bell colours there, Grand Army colours. It's just held up. It's got nowhere to go. Think about it. Obviously, we all know how good he is. He's coming wider. Clemenceau sticks to the fence. And he comes home okay for 4th. I would say a couple of things about this run where I see upside. First is I don't think the rail was the place to be that day. Most of the winners came, sort of 3 or 4 off and settled in right off the fence. And the other thing was he was off a 6-week freshen there. I think he'll be better for that run. Before that, he ran second to Bacchanalia. It was 3 wide the trip. Bacchanalia had the PR 1-1 and just got beat. So I just sort of trying to find an edge here. There's 2 ways this race will go. Frosty Rocks has jumped out incredibly well and has just shanghaied out of the gates in both trials. I'm expecting it to be very aggressive here from 9 and take on Prince of Boom, who's got T. Clark on. If Prince of Boom got dictating here, you could see it would be starting a lot shorter, but I'm just going to bank on Frosty Rocks working hard and trying to cross it. Which will set it up for pace here. So I want to be on Clemenceau. I think about the $9. I've got it marked sort of $5. I thought it's well over the odds and looked a great each way bet in this. I think there's been a lot of merit in its races, and I think they've been a lot stronger form lines. And I didn't want to lose on Quantico. I've always loved her as a horse. Nothing wrong with that first up run, as Walt alluded to. I don't think she trialled that well, and she was fairly soft in the betting. I think on Betfair, she SP'd about $8 from memory. So I wanted to save on her. I think only race shape stops us from getting a result by attacking the race like that.
I think you're right. My big query about Prince of Boom, I think he's 1,000-metre / 1,100-metre horse. I think
if he gets softened,
absolutely airborne, but 1,200 metres is a big query, and especially with that scenario you just spoke about.
He's won 3 at 1,200, I think, Prince of Boom, hasn't he?
Against who?
They don't count up there.
Don't count up there. Well, he ran 3rd to Rothfly and King of Sparta, but less than half a length over 1,200 and got beat 2.8 by Giga Kick over 1,200. So it's not
in the right spot both times. But which is that's the beauty of the horse. But I'm with you. Like, I think if it gets softened up, but the Clemenceau's the one. Like, I just couldn't believe the price of it. It has been absolutely butchered every start. The stable just loves to ride things negatively and butcher them. The fence was terrible there the other day, and I thought its job was, it did a great job to sort of know momentum and come with a horse like, say, Foxfighter, who had all the momentum in the right part of the track. It just has to, it can't end up in a bad position here. Like it has to be. It's drawn inside Prince of Boom, so it should be just right on his hammer. And like I'm with you. Probably the way the betting is, you've got to make Clemenceau the better result of the two, and Quantico, the chop or a small win, just because it's a bit tighter. But I couldn't be more in your corner here, especially with Clemenceau. Just silly price, whatever it is, $8 or $9.
Yeah.
Ryan Maloney's riding pretty well on these big days as well. He's going enormous, I reckon.
He's a bit of the shin of the north for me too. He tends to get him a pair closer without, let's go back to his Magic Millions ride. He's I've stopped underrating him as a rider, that's for sure. Even when you get to the best of the best races, he is very good at. Obviously, someone helps him out with where the horse should be in the run, and he's capable of getting them there. All
right, we'll brush the Melbourne boys for that race, but we might bring them back in the show for the Queensland Oaks. Have a look at the market first. Fireburn 380 into 310. Renaissance Woman 6 into 420. Fair Suevre is 650. Sakura Girl $12. So Dazzling 14. That's one of Nico's horses. Proscenium Arch $18. Amakura 18. Cheval d'Or is 19, Super Chilled $21, and then you got Madame Odette 26, Yankee Hustle 31, and much better the rest. Let's have a look at Fireburn last start, and this is the Doomben Roses. This is the traditional leader.
Why are we watching this race?
I'd unloaded on Renaissance Woman in this race, and even laid Fireburn in this race.
I had my pants off at the 300, mate, when Josh got in. I think, nothing will be running past this.
My jaw hit the ground. I was having a big day. I doubled my bet on Renaissance Woman. And the way Fireburn just puts them away in 3 strides here, I couldn't believe it. Sure, it was just to sort of sit at the back and follow them around and then accelerate for a furlong.
That's the worry, isn't it?
But Renaissance Woman had a really good run in that race too. I think Fireburn absolutely beat her on its merits. The first race she's won since we were older, when she won the Sires after the slipper. I thought she'd never win another race, to be honest. But when I did this race last night off that win, I had her marked $2.50 and she was $3.80, and I just couldn't believe it. Just thought she was a wrong price. Getting in, I've just noticed just before I've come on, she's coming to $3. Probably, I don't want to take too much under that. She's always been a bit better with the sting out. Eagle Far will not have that. The 2,200 metre start here, they've got a very short run to the first turn, and they go around an 800 metre bend. But sort of just can't find anything other than Renaissance Woman that I want to back, and I just can't see it turning the tables off that last run. Secure Girls.
What about 16 gate? Is he going to ride it the same way again? That's the issue.
He's going to have to be 20 off him. Yeah, he's going to have to ride it cold. But some of these horses, they're 65 ratings, like half this field. Like, they should be going backwards at the turn when she's still on the bridle.
If you took 2-1 this horse, you want him to ride it the same way that he rode it there, because you do not want it coming around the field, because that's when it could be completely exposed. I don't think the horse can come around the field and beat Renaissance Woman.
But
he could butcher it, half butcher it, get out with 200 to go and out sprint him again.
Just zip up.
Agreed.
If he doesn't come around.
He's in 4. If all the emergencies come out, he's in 14 to 16. So he's got to, he's got to ride it out.
And that's how he rides horses, right? Yeah.
And the thing that makes it easier, I think, is there's quite a few on paces here that have drawn really wide. Like the Secure Girl's drawn 21. It just wants to lead. So I wanted to find it, but I think the barriers just destroyed his chances, even with Opion. I think there is going to be quite a lot of speed, so there won't even be a consideration after the way he rode it last start to rev her up. It's the first race she's won in 18 months. Go back, take your medicine, and ride for a J Collett special. As I said, $3. God, off just that one good performance, it's probably our bet. As I said, I did send it through it when I was about $3.80. But other than in a Renaissance Woman, I tried to find something else and couldn't. I just thought her win was just so explosive through the line that if she gets any luck, I thought she'd win.
SA Oaks winner Fair Suevre. I still can't say that properly. Let's have a look at her replay. She was 3 wide the entire, and Johnny sort of had to get on his bike sort of early here to rev her up, and you can just sort of see him sort of at work on this filly.
Yeah.
I've just liked the way that she's won her last 3 starts. Is it 3 starts she's won? She just looks, she's still learning, looking for further, and she just finds a way to win this thing. And Be interesting to see. I think she'll just keep improving. I thought she was the danger, or just trying to look for some DF.
Yeah.
She was all out on the line there, but she was 3 wide the entire. She had to make a pretty big run there.
Yeah, I can't disagree with any of that. She's been great. She's gone maiden, listed race Group 1. I guess I was just a little bit burnt from last week with the SA Derby form not holding up. And I thought that the Colts in South Australia were stronger than the fillies, so that just made me a little bit gun shy, but I could be wrong.
There's a length between 10 of them across the line there. If that's the right form, I'll bloody give it away. But
Well, you've only got 2, like Presenia March.
talk to me about Lee's horse.
She was only
Azza?
she was wide the whole start, and she was only 2.2 off the winner there. Huh? Presenia March.
No, well I think that's better form. I think that's better form, but I think the
Kieran can repeat his horses a million times.
yeah, but that's the thing.
This horse might
looks like
have
it
been
needs
only
to go
half
to
fit.
Dubai and have those
Hey?
robot coming out and the V8's chasing it. Looks like a 3-horse camel humper.
Okay,
Um,
to answer your question, I thought maybe the hidden sort of knockout might be Yankee Hustle from the Chris Lee show.
I'm talking to my mate Azza, the poorly.
You just asked me about the Chris Lee's horse.
Well, that's not his. He doesn't have a. He's not Yankee Hut. Oh, that's not the
I
one.
thought
I'm
you
not
were
talking
talking
about the
about
3 hump.
Lee
I'm talking about
Curtis.
Amakura.
Amakura.
The one that's gapped him at Newcastle, then had 4 weeks off, and then beat the older horses at Sunshine Coast. So horrible races, like monster jumping class, but the horse just looks completely untapped once it's got up to this sort of trick. It defies everything I hate, like in a horse. It's like 6th, 7th up first prep, everything I hate, but looks just to have some X factor. Gate 1 Ollie, 20 to 1.
Wouldn't talk you out of it. I thought you were asking me about Lee Curtis's horse then. I was like,
Oh, the thing that's got a bit of speed. Yeah, it's just gonna.
I'm still
I don't think so.
I'm still baiting in $50 notes after you're laying that thing that Racing Watch told me to lay yesterday on in the first at Warwick Farm. Just absolute filler.
Mate, that was a long time ago.
Thing that ran 5th at Let Me Rain last day.
Oh, what about that? What, can you run me through how that thing was backed? That like.
I just
What was that horse of Portelli's? Think it raining something rain something. Think it same sort of thing.
Territory
Sheeble Run.
Express.
Yeah, it had gone 12, 1450 open, up to 1850 maiden, then 2,000 metre group race, then back to 1,400 with earmuffs on. And they back it from $5 to $3.50. Someone's got a lot of money out there they don't they just want to give away.
Just subscribe to Racing Watch, mate, and you just no.
That's it.
That's how you make the coin.
Off topic, you don't get in the Discord, Azza, and it was definitely not my doing, but one of the lunatics in there, he used to be on Twitter, King, he's liked 4 horses at Port Macquarie on Monday. I ended up overlapping 2 of them, and I was happy with that. Went bowling. One of the boys has had $10 and won 70,200 off the 4-leg all up. The other bloke's had 100. He's taken fixed odds the 3rd leg with our sponsor, poor old TopSport, and it's paid $11 tote off a 26 fixed call. He's cost himself about 70, but he's won 60. They're all in there. Had the 4-leg all up. There was a very popular day in the Discord on Monday, but you don't get in there, Azza. You're too good for us.
Are you boys in Melbourne still with us?
Yeah, we're still here. We're just
I think
watching
it's
the
been
show.
20 minutes and just haven't drawn breath, these two.
It's good. The Azza and Walt show.
Well, we don't have the other show anymore because, I don't know. We've got to squeeze it into this.
Nico or DK, you guys got any opinions on this Queensland Oaks? Any different angles?
Yeah, I think I can't see, like Fireburn, she just had everything go away the other day. Like Barrier 16 just can't work for her here. Renaissance Woman, she's no superstar. I thought it was probably a race at a Ferris Suave. That Presenia March form, you can line it up. She's probably in play, but yeah, I was more looking at sort of Amakura, Yankee Hustle, Cheval Dior. I think they're all horses that can be in play. I think it's pretty wide open, this race. The top 3 aren't stars, that's for sure.
That Amakura Walton sounds like a bit like Fame last week, that one's spanking the ones in the, to come out of a kite and maiden
comes out
and a moe, and then comes out and runs the big race, $21 in or whatever, 26 in.
Similar, like bolted in last start,
that
fast race.
The fresh legs off the
it
fast
come off a
race.
slow tempo and won well, and can come off a fast tempo and won well. So yeah, it's a good sign, right?
Fast, yeah. Well, Fame was off the fast tempos, wasn't it? They loved it.
Yeah, it looks deadly. Definitely looks deadly, that horse.
Amakura.
Yeah.
Chris Lee's,
Kermadec too. Jesus.
he could have a mortgage on this race.
Kermadec will be standing for 220 next year. No money in breeding.
No money in breeding. That's why they have to have Schnitzel at 250,000.
I love
per
the ones.
serve. It's boring, but we'll talk about it.
I love the ones that they've gone here. They've been exported to Chile, where they're pulling a milk cart somewhere, and something wins a Group 1 next. Then they're back at Widden for Widden for 44 next year.
like scissor kick.
Yeah,
Had
scissor
nothing
kick.
good and then gets giga kick, and we got to find him back from exile. I don't even know where he is. He's in Malaysia or
where's
somewhere. Isn't
Merchant Navy at the moment? He's in Turkey or something, isn't he?
There's a few go to Turkey.
Yeah,
No, honestly, Merchant Navy,
Argentina.
Macedonia or Turkey, or he might be in the Ukraine. Merchant Navy, I'm not sure.
Oh, he's on the front line.
He might be carting.
That could be the horse that Craig Williams rides when he goes over there.
He could be carting missiles. He could be carting Willow's first aid kits to the
Meets Craig at the ball.
Craig Williams is WMDs. Oh, beautiful. Yeah.
Oh,
somewhere over there. Anyway, he's not in the Hunter Merchant Navy. I can assure you that. I was there when he won it, Royal Ascot too. It was a great day, good fill up, but not throwing much.
All right, tweet us the most obscure stallion standing locations, and we'll give you guys free subs, merch, whatever you want. Just let's get the Twitter storm going on the most remote or extraordinary comebacks or locations from stallions, just to rev up Richard Irvine, because it's pretty boring stuff, but we're happy to talk about it. Azza, you've been sensational yet again. Not sure, we went a couple of different places here in your segment here, but we'll see you next week, hopefully.
Thanks, boys. Good on you. Have a great weekend, everyone. Just
Cheers.
keep hunting.
That's it.
He loves it, doesn't he? All right, Nico, you're going to have a look at Flemington. Well, I'm a little bit in shock that there's no jockey change on this first tip that you've found at Flemington Race 5, but I'll zoom straight into it. Wet weather's going to take Gold Coast by, take hold of Gold Coast probably Sunday and early next week. Miss this week. Miss this weekend. Yeah, I think we're sweet up here. Flemington Race 5, not sure what the weather's doing in Melbourne though. Son of Solly's favourite here, 420. First Immortal $5, Oceans above 8, Reservoir Dog 850, Verify 950, Got to Be Savvy 10, Aney Grand 10, King's Crossing 14, and my brother's keepers $15. They're the main chances in the race, and Verify is a replay we're going to watch, and this is sick because Nico, you tipped it last time, and R Downey's kept the ride.
Yep. You compare sort of his last two runs to the 600 at Morpheville. He's gone sort of 3.5 lengths above. That run 2 starts ago here, he's gone 3.5 lengths below, and he sat last. Just a real difference in speed there. Flashes home. I think he ran the 9th fastest last 200 of the day. So the favourite is the second horse. The second favourite's the first horse, and here he has had absolutely no chance against him, flashing home, strong through the line, and he's $10 again. You're probably going to get that price because he goes back. But, you look through his form. He's got form around your horse DK fame back in the early days. So
yeah, whatever, yep.
He's definitely got talent. Like that run in the Chairman's was huge. He just was given none last start. He gets in good at the weights again here with 55. And I think with a bigger field, that race was only sort of 10 or 12 of them. There's going to be a full field here of 16 or even 18 if they can run it. You'd think that they go quicker out in front, and he just comes into play from barrier 10. Rob Downey I think this race will just work out better for this horse. I think we just got to stick on him again, with the way he can hit the line. Flemington, I thought there was a lot of ticks for him there on Saturday in a fast run race.
Yeah, no, spot me. He's been one of mine all the way through. God knows how he's still a maiden, but he has contested a lot stronger races. But
I'll tell you how, DK, just absolute slaughter job.
I thought Robert Downey was Iron Man.
The trainer's gone. Like, he's completely gone from what he was. I mean, he was the 2 I see to Bart and all this, and, anyway, somehow he keeps getting a couple of these nice horses, and then he takes 10 races to win a maiden with them. I don't know how many starts this has had, but God knows how it's still a maiden.
10.
I'm just shocked
starts,
that he's retained.
What an effort to make this a 10-start maiden. Like, seriously.
Well, we'll be going close there on Saturday, and I thought the other horse in the race we probably got to have a look at is Connecticut. DK, the Geelong maiden winner last start. Blinkers went on there. I just think he's looking for a big track, this horse. He just sort of hit the front and laboured there last start with the blinkers. I think in a faster run race would be better. That run at Cranbourne, he was just all at sea. You can definitely tie in his form. Early days, he wasn't too far off Japanese Emperor. And then first up this campaign, he was on the heels of Cosmic Enigma and Alcioldo. Cosmic Enigma was right on the heels of Oceans Above, who's right in the market in this race. So easy to tie in, and I thought it sort of 20s or 30s you could do worse than something on him.
I think it's a stretch, but I won't knock it those odds. Yeah, he's on the up. So
these races though, like even we saw it in the last lead up, we had the lead up from that 2,000 metre race at Flemington was the 1,800 at Soundown, and none of the horses got near it. So I think they're races you just got to look for DF in. that's probably why I'd be against Son of Solly and First Immortal.
First of all, he's got the bigger weight and the wider barrier, hasn't he?
Verify is through that layup, but he's given none. So I'm happy to sort of say he's the horse to take out of that. But like Savorsky, Living Free, Connecticut, like these races they're dead set class 1. So they could be in the finish if it works out well for them.
Keeping the breeding going, that's a written tycoon. Not many written tycoons get 2,000, do they? But it's out of it's a Beal mare. Isn't it weird when you go back to the sales for a few days, all of a sudden you start looking at this crap, drives you mad.
Very boring.
Very boring.
I think it's a cupboard job. You just got to back him and get in the cupboard and come out when
Get
it's
the cover,
all
that's
over.
it. Come out at the 100-metre mark, and hopefully he's within 2 lengths of him.
It's one of the
Go,
best
Robbie.
bets Nico's found that hasn't run a place, $18 into bugger all. Just absolutely sickening. Flemington race 8 might be another one. The VRC Community Plate, it's our time, $4.40. Jimmy the Bear, $6. $8 King Magnus. Frankie Pino, $9. Crosshaven, $10. Morvada, $10. Manhattan Times, $11. Sir Davy, $13. Bullfinch, $15. And the repo you're going to have a look at here is Jimmy the Bear, first up. Thought he was huge here. 1,200 metres, not suited.
Yeah, stable's flying. They got a massive hand of runners at Heatchote today. They'll probably train a treble or something there. Diagola's running earlier in the program. This horse looks well set up. Jimmy the Bear just sort of weaving his way through the field there with the white sleeves right on the back of Dejombuck. It's our time. This race rated pretty well. He's not really a 1,200 metre horse. Looked at his sort of form throughout his career. He's better over sort of 14 and 1,600, but I thought he did a good job here to stick on. The only knock here is probably the barrier. From barrier 16, he's going to have to press forward, and just sort of the running gets in transit might be the question mark here if he has to do a bit too much work second up. If he was third up, I'd nearly dead set declare him. Just second up, he might just be having a little bit wanting late, but at $6 in a race that, it's our time's favourite.
Well, you got to be looking around it. That's the first port of call. Is if we put two together, it's our time.
Yeah, exactly. Right? Out to 1,400. McNeil goes back on. MD seems to get the best out of the horse of we saw last start. And then where else do you go? It's just like Numberville, King Magnus, Frankie Pino, Sir Davy first up. Probably need the run from the gate. So yeah, if he was probably third up and had this gate, you wouldn't worry too much. But that's probably the only worry. Just if he gets caught wide or has to do too much work. But at $6, I still think he's a pretty easy bet on a day where, I think the mounting yard would be pretty crucial. We've got some big fields, sort of see how the track's playing and if there's any pattern or anything like that. But a bit of a tricky day at Flemington. But I thought Jimmy the Bear, he'll have to be in the finish. You could back him in the place, to be honest. But $6 looks a fair enough price given the barrier.
And the stable's just ticking over.
Flying. He had another 2 yesterday, didn't they? 2. The nephew and Sione yesterday.
Sione.
Both sort of rebuilding. Come off sort of. He did something different.
Sione was off like this flat mile run, got back to a 1,200 metre race, and you're kind of like, oh, she probably wants 13, 14, banged just straight over the top of him. And then the nephew prayed great. The nephew for him yesterday really relaxed. So, yeah, like I said, I think he's going to train a few today at Heatchote. He's definitely a man you don't want to be letting slip under your guard at the moment.
You want to be with him, not against him, that trainer too.
Yeah.
If you want more of Nico's action, the Mounting Yard Mail, 3 to 5 minutes before the race via Telegram, $25 a week. So you get Wednesday and Saturday metros and the public holiday and any bonus meetings too. Nico is a punting form disciple, puntingform.com.au. It's the next best step to go from a weekend warrior to a full or part-time pro punter. You match your tape watching with the data to back it up. Walt, Rosehill on Saturday. Have you got any idea what the weather's going to do?
No. Should I check? Don't think it matters.
Let's have a look at race 7 at Rosehill. Only going to do 1, but if it goes as good as Iron and Merc, I don't really care. Devil Stroke's a favourite here, $3.70. Kips Bay $4.80 in from 7, big mover there. Exelitis $6.50, Contemporary $7.50, Shaylid $9.50, Gracie Styler is $11, Tycoon $13 and Turbo $16, Battleton $19 for Bjorn Baker, and the Hippo on that one. Devil's Throat's the replay we're going to have a look at. Good win last time.
Yeah, so Snowden's really been struggling to race well fresh. They've sort of been, whether they're just leaving a bit more in the locker early in their preps, and this horse was first up this day, was well backed, and you can see sort of in the white cap and the black there, he was off the bit before the turn, and he was first up here. So where I'm trying to go with this is his strength through the line is very good considering sort of the way the stable's going and everything. A mate of mine was out there and said the horse has improved significantly since he last saw it, and there was certainly a bit more to come. So whilst this does look a slightly stronger race, He draws absolutely ideally. I find it hard to catch old Reece Jones as a rule, but he's been riding plenty of winners and just hopefully a little bit positive early, settles in the sort of first 3 or 4, and I expect it to sort of improve off that run. And as I said, it was a day that doesn't look overly joyful for the punter, very difficult. You find a winner on the program, you'll probably end up in front, but this race doesn't look deep at all. Most of the other chances are sort of drawn awkwardly, contemporary. Gracie Styler resuming with Preble from a wide draw. The probably 2 obvious ones are the others drawn nicely in Kips Bay and Excelidus. Not a huge Kips Bay fan, but always very wary of Doyle, especially when money comes for his horses. So, it's the sort of horse you could see Gibbons just going straight to the front on, and if that's the pattern of the day, which usually isn't a bad place to be at Rosehill, it'll give a sight. But this horse still should be within touch, and expect it to sort of, as I said, improve off that run and be very hard to beat here. Devil's Throat just looks a pretty progressive horse that can still be on the up, even though it's had a few preps now.
I say this often, but Reece is another jockey. If Walt finds it, it's obviously a good bet.
Well,
you don't love him.
You look for the foolproof positions for these sorts of riders, and you've just got to be patient. Like I probably miss him. I'm happy. So if he draws awkwardly and looks like he's got to make a decision, I'm happy for him to beat me. This time, I think if it's given the same ride as it was first up, it should be in a very similar spot at worst, if not a pair closer, and very difficult to mess up. And he's not a bad rider by any stretch, Reece, but I think he struggles to make the right decision when it's left to him. So I think this one should just go pretty simply, hopefully.
Last week we had a bit of feedback that DK had pooey nappies on the show, and then we got a little bit of feedback on the YouTube show last week on the YouTube comment section, and they said something along the lines as, when's Walt going to issue a big apology to Zach Lloyd, because you were pretty negative on him for a while.
How many I said he can't steer and he's dangerous. How many suspensions has he had this year? 10? Oh, geez, I was wrong. I'm so sorry about that. Yeah, no. Yeah, back in your box, troll. Under your bridge. No, he's progressive and he's entitled to be. He's got every opportunity. He's in Godolphin, he's got Beebman, he's got his father who's a great rider, he's got his whole family. He's been in racing, he's been on horses his whole life. My criticism of Zach is that he's a bit weak physically and sometimes struggles to control his horses, and I think the stewards agree with me at this stage, but he's got plenty of upside. I don't think he's a terrible rider. I don't think he's definitely no chance of not making it as a rider. I hope that he continues to go from strength to strength. I just think probably physically he needs to aim up a bit, maybe jump in with the Queensland State of Origin team for a while, and they'll sort him out.
Oh, well, there you go, B Miller from YouTube. Don't say we don't give you...
Oh.
No, was it really?
No, I was just pulling your
The
chain.
Miller Cup?
Hey?
I wish it was.
You came in pretty quickly to that one, didn't you?
Well, I thought it was great. Funnily, my favourite bowlers are Brad Miller, and it's just hard to watch him, but what can you do?
Oh, racingwatch.com.au. If you want to rev John up, it's easy. You just saw it then. I just pulled his chain so quickly. So get in the Discord chat if you want to get in there with all the ferals, and Telegram if you just don't want the head noise. So it is. It's delightful. There's lots of stuff in there, and some of it's great, some of it's absolutely terrible. But sometimes you just need a break for it.
It's terrible. Oh, yeah,
I had a couple of day break from it.
Semi-nudes and stuff that I put up there of middle-aged men. And things.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Pictures
I need to
of
get some
half-dressed blokes.
DK something. I got to get him. I got to get some angles for DK. So
He's a master at Photoshop, Walt, too. So just be careful if you've got something on the net that you don't want enhanced or modified. Maybe stay out of there.
You know what it's good for, the old Photoshop, when you don't want to bet in a race and you just need a 25-minute break, so you're not even looking at the race. You just Photoshop. I like it.
It's time for Donny's best.
G'day, gents. Quick one today. Half-time at Origin. Can't wait to see the Blues come over the top in the second half. It's going to be a cracker. The best bets for the weekend. Pretty again, Eagle Farm on Saturday. The first best bet comes up in race 1, Azula from the Gay Waterhouse and Adrian Bott stable. It was very strong last start, over 1,400 metres at Kensington. It's drawn wide here. It probably gets to the front, and I think if it does get to the front, it's the one to beat for sure. It looks nicely set up, and love Timmy's riding really well at Queensland at the moment. So happy to be on that at around the $3 mark. The second bet comes up in race 2, Claim the Crown. It didn't take part first up in the Scone Cup. It SP'd $10 that day. I think it's a much weaker race here. Rachel King goes on, which is a bit of a worry, but we're getting a price around the $10 mark.
seems all over the odds to back it each way. If there's a danger of that race, I think Rosso from the Wallace stable can run a race also. So they're the two best bets today. Good luck on the weekend, gents.
So Donnie's gone for the Gay Waterhouse runner there, race 1, number 9, Azula T. Clark.
I'm a bit lucky I didn't follow my own program there because I was going to say Rosehill's so bad. I was heading to Eagle Farm race 1 as the backup, and that's the same horse. I don't set many alarms that I thought they might mess up the price with it, and within about 43 milliseconds of them going up, that horse was $4 into $3. It's not a gimme race, but I like that it's drawn wide, and it's a very progressive horse. And you'll see Gay's 2 horses yesterday. They look like they're back in their rhythm. Hawaii 5-0 and Converge last week. It looks like the stable's, back with a vengeance. So, I think it'll go really close. There's a Waller runner in there that's a little bit dangerous. Is it influential? On 12 up to 15.
Yep.
Looks a horse that'll appreciate the 15, but hopefully Timmy's off and gone.
What price? So I've missed the $4, $3.
Yeah, I think 2 to 1's right at its bottom. I'm not taking any shorter than 2 to 1.
Okay,
There's no
$3.
beating those early market bots. They're just getting faster and faster. Those first market, hey?
You don't even see it. As a human being, you don't even see the first price.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. So I don't know. They keep quoting them. They love quoting them. All the people pumping up the tab and all that. It's bullshit.
Mm. And again, it's not 4 to 380. It's 4 to 3. Bang.
Holy dolly. This horse has gone off, this one. Claim the Crown. It's 8 into $6 on TopSport. This is Donnie's other bet. So I think this horse is dual nominated Claim the Crown.
What race?
It must be going to Eagle Farm and not Flemington based on that market move.
What race?
Race 2, number 14, Claim the Crown. It was held up last start at Scone, Donnie said. Annabelle, Rachel King.
Oh, yeah. And it improved out of sight second up, I think, last time. Yeah, Anna. She's hard to catch, Annabelle, but she's, she shouldn't be hard to catch. She's trained a lot of winners, but she's sort of horses jump in performance. Cheer it home for the Donster.
It ran in behind Akasawa, who won the Gunnedah Cup, I think.
How good's that form?
Yeah, so that form looks all right.
63.5, Akasawa won a big race at Scone now, and then it's straight off to Gunnedah to win a $40,000 race. Yeah.
Donnie's flying.
Hard to beat.
He's going very well, Donnie.
Good man.
He's a good man. TopSport Steamers, let's try and find a winner here. Eagle Farm, race 6, number 10, Brigantine, $500 at $5. Military experts in the field, Munamek, Skyman, Namazu, Albert, Driver Deal, Vinco. Looks up for grabs that race. Anything can win that.
Take turn sort of horses. Very, very difficult. Too hard for me.
Bit yucky. Nash on Skyman might be a bit of value there, but need to dig into that one. Race 8, number 7, Sakuna Girl, $1,000 at $12 in the Oaks. It's going to jump from 21. We've already previewed that race, but
I think Nico sort of is pretty right. Like you said the strongest form one looks the 2 favourites, but they're coming off PRs and probably its last 2 starts for Renaissance, last start for Fireburn. So I'm not knocking anyone who's looking to go wide in the Oaks.
Yeah, it was coming. I think it was 3 or 4 weeks in between runs and landing off the plane. I thought it wasn't that bad, beating less than 2 lengths, doing it all up in front. DK, were you going to say something there?
Is that the New Zealand horse?
Yep.
Yeah. I heard that it's come out of decent. The races it comes out of over in New Zealand is normally good lead-ups for them when they come over here.
Yeah, I think it's definitely in play at the $12. I couldn't talk anyone out of backing that. And then this one's for you, Nico. Flemington race 9, number 4, Ran Veer.
Yeah, interesting run. I was first up at Mornington and was held up, probably unlucky not to win.
It's first up for 2 years, wasn't it?
It was a while.
Yeah.
And then we haven't seen him since. So he's been back to the jump outs. Matt Laurie horses, you expect him to jump out, be winning those heats. And he was sort of out the back there at Mornington. I don't know if he's had a setback or they just haven't been able to find a race for him. I would assume he's had a setback given the type of horse he is, but definitely got talent. I can see the appeal at $4, but I just thought he should probably jump down a little bit better if you really wanted to get involved off a potential setback. But could be the best horse in the race, and it was a bit of a raffle outside of him. So can see the love early at $4.
Definitely looks like a raffle to me, that one, outside the favourite. DK, I think you're due for a winner, actually. I don't know if you...
Won last week, only got beaten 13 lengths. 13.
Yeah. Have you given up or have you got something for us?
No, I thought I'll switch off that heavy track. I hate that heavy track like bullshit last week and pissed down rain. And so we'll go to the poly track tomorrow, Nico. There's a 1,400 metre maiden, the for the DK 1400s. I've got the juries right out after Monarch Spray yesterday on that race. I know they went hard on that race at Bendigo.
God, Ollie didn't participate on it, did he?
Yesterday? Yeah, I don't know. So anyway, the Boominardi and the Thermodynamic come out of that race, so I'm sort of going to be around them. There's another thing. The Shack Attack's always had plenty of talent, gets the shades on Friday. So we'll go to the old Shack Attack. I think race 2, Pakenham tomorrow, Scooty.
Race 2, number 5, Clint McDonald, who's in a good bit of form.
He has improved since he's gone to Cranberry, and that's for sure, that bloke.
On, was it Monday or Tuesday, a bloke who tips me 4 horses a year, usually pretty right, he says on the Fridays, like, mate, good horse going around. Was it Sunday or Monday? Pop Rock.
Yeah,
so
Pop
I've
Rock.
doubled, tripled. I've had about 97 bets going into it. And Nico, you both would have seen the run, Pop Rock.
It was extraordinary. So he's obviously got on the drift because his manners
heavy track and everything. Yeah,
his manners were terrible. So he's nearly fallen out of the gates, pulled his head off, had the temerity to kick clear in the straight, and got rounded up by something that went real good.
Went good, come from last.
Yeah.
So poor old Greg Urell, I ran into at the sales. I couldn't help myself. Oh, geez, I saw a horse of yours the other day. Went all right. Pop Rock. Hey, did you guys ever? Oh, mate, he went white. They must have been all in the poor buggers. What an engine that horse has got.
That was amazing. I reckon, see, the models and stuff, they hate, it did over race in its trials, yeah?
Mm.
And they don't like that. So that, the old jump out groupies were all over it, and it went up, to go up $2.50 or $3. It was expressed to $4.60 despite it still got the raw talent. Mm. And then everything went wrong. And it was amazing. And you remember Pop Rock? You remember Pop Rock, Nico?
Yep.
The Japanese thing.
Pop Rock. Yeah.
Last winter I backed.
Was that the horse that they had to absolutely bash to get it across the line?
Delta Blues and Pop
Delta
Rock.
Blues and it.
Yeah. Or was Delta Blues the one that didn't track work well and they bashed it?
I think Pop Rock was the one that went better than they expected. Delta Blues was the one that
Lazy
expected
one.
to run better, I think.
Yeah, and Delta Blues won. It got beaten.
Hmm.
Yeah, I do remember that. All right. Beautiful. There's the horse to follow. Pop Rock.
Pop Rock.
So it's got more head noise than DK and I put together, but it's got an engine if it works it out.
Gee whiz, did it do stuff wrong?
Yeah. All right. I think that's the end of the show. I think I'm going to go for a sauna.
You are?
Yeah.
I won't be coming with you. I don't want whatever you've got.
Spicy cough. You got the spicy cough, Walt. Careful.
I had it 3 weeks ago. Surely I can't back up.
Just
immunity.
All right. Good luck this weekend, boys. Hope you win a stack.
Good luck to the bunnies.
See ya.
See you guys.